Hey guys. so, I've been seeing on Twitter a lot that there have been some articles out, and I kind of know just of some of the articles, but I really thought I'd just go and check out the articles to see what exactly was going on. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the article about the Black Superman, that movie that was announced by Warner Brothers, and then also about Toby Emmerich, who is kind of the head of the DC films right now. Him possibly looking for another job. So I thought I'd go check out both those articles. I think it's Hollywood Reporter that put out both articles, hoping it's the right articles, but I thought I'd go check them out right now and see what was going on. So we're going to So behind Warner Brothers search for a Black Superman. After enlisting Ta-Nehisi Coates, I think that's how you say it, to write the latest feature on the superhero, the studio is searching for its director and stars that kickstarts the next phase of the DC universe. While promoting his Amazon Prime film Tom Clancy's Without Remorse in late April, Michael B. Jordan put a kryptonite pin in any rumors that he might suit up as Warner Brothers' next Superman. I'm flattered that people have me in that conversation. Jordan told the Hollywood Reporter it's definitely compliment, but I'm just watching on this one. With that, a whole new guessing game has kicked off, centering on who's playing the Man of Steel. Arguably more pressing, who is directing. Sources say J.J. Abrams, who is producing the film, is not among the many possibilities being considered. When Warner's announced in February that the celebrated author Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing the screenplay and Abrams is producing, he did not address the matter of helming, but insiders say Warner's and DC are committed to hiring a black director to tackle what will be the first cinematic incarnation of Superman featuring a black actor, with one source adding that putting Abrams on the helm would be tone deaf. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack in that sentence. Warner Brothers and DC are committed to hiring a black director. Okay, you fired the black director for Flash. You fired your black director for New Gods. And now you're suddenly wanting a black director to play, to direct your Superman movie. So this is the first cinematic incarnation of Superman featuring black actor. Considering how it was revealed that Johns refused to consider a black actor for the grandfather of Kal-El, and now suddenly, because according to him, or not him, but his the reps speaking for him, he wanted someone who looked. He thought the audience wanted someone who looked like Henry Cavill. But apparently now it's alright to have a black Superman after refusing to allow Superman's grandfather to be black. So that's really, really seems like not suspicious at all, right? And what the last bit, putting Abrams at the helm would be tone deaf. I'm assuming they're implying that putting a white director on a black movie would be tone deaf, which I think is highly ironic that these jackasses are talking about tone deaf. They literally are going through this whole debacle with a black actor, talking about how he was mistreated on set, and they want to talk about tone deaf when releasing a movie, an article saying that they're gonna create a movie with a black Superman. Talk about tone deaf. In a fitting twist, the director search is pitting DC against none other than Marvel, as Warner's look to fill its Superman vacancy. Marvel is on the hunt for a Blade Helmer and is combing through the same list. The question will come down to what kind of filmmaker Bad Robot, and Warner's wants an up-and-coming who can be backed by Abrams, who knows his way around tentpoles and franchises, or a established filmmaker like Barry Jenkins or Ryan Coogler. So, yeah, pitting DC against none other than Marvel. It's blatantly obvious. I mean, they've admitted it, that they don't want to, compete against Marvel. They want to copy Marvel. The former list can include Creed's 2, Stephen Copley Jr., J.D. Dillard, Regina King, who gave raves for her drama One Night in Miami, and Shaka King, who is popular at Warner thanks to the Best Picture Oscar nominee Judas and the Black Messiah. Some potential directors have met with both studios for both films. Even at one agent said the process was phenomenally early. I wonder why. Meanwhile, Coogler may be a non-starter for either assignment, given that he being occupied with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which released July 8th, 2022. Coates isn't expected to deliver his Superman script until mid-December. So, mid-December. This article has been announced. This is May. So he's going to be expected to have a script in December. So how many months are that? Like 6 months, maybe? 6 months to write a script. Because Marvel isn't rushing with Blade, whose start date was pushed from this September to July 2022, when the studio can spend time working on the Stacey Ossie Kufor pin script. So yeah, once again, you gotta wonder if this is actually gonna happen. We thought New God was gonna happen, but apparently that's not happening. So it just feels like another project where Warner Brothers announces this shit and just drops it. But the next Superman will likely land with a named director, the star be relatively unknown, as was the case with Brandon Roth, suited up Bryan Singer's 2006 Superman Returns, Henry Cavill advocated for Zack Snyder's 2013 Man of Steel. The other Superman Returns, nor Man of Steel, lived up to the oversized expectations. Fuck off with that. Man of Steel made $600,000, which made more than fucking Iron Man, if I recall correctly. But they expected, Superman movie to be just, immediately successful, which we learned with fucking Superman Returns isn't the case. They act like the MCU just suddenly popped, was so successful, and it took 6 movies before they hit $1 billion. But because it's Superman, they expect it to be, making $1 billion from the start. So fuck off with that. The former earning $391 million worldwide, and the latter taking in $668 million. By contrast, James Wan's Aquaman had $1.15 billion in 2015. Fuck off. Trying to pit other DCU movies against each other. By that logic, Ant-Man is shit because it didn't make as much as Avengers. Or Iron Man 3, if you will. And Todd Phillips' Joker scored $1.7 billion and multiple Oscars. Yeah, Joker, which Warner Brothers didn't believe in. They literally thought it was going to be a failure, which is why they pretty much just allowed all these other studios to benefit from it, because they wouldn't fund it, and I believe Phillips and even Joaquin Phoenix got a big payday from this movie. So yeah, that's not on them. That's on their fucking incompetence and not willingness, the unwillingness to believe in their movies. But establishing a new tone with the Launch of the next Superman franchise is key to Warner Brothers' DC film future. As such, little will remain of the so-called Snyderverse vision. Yeah, little will remain except, Justice League, which is smashing records left and right. Which enjoys its last hurrah with Snyder's 4-hour Justice League bowing on HBO Max in March. Among his hand-picked stars remain are Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller. Yeah, all the ones that have fucking talked about how Warner Brothers treated them like shit, except for Ezra Miller. DC sees its upcoming Flash movie, which begins production in April in London, as its way forward in the post-Snyder world. Yeah, we know. They're all for, just standalone movies now. These jackasses wanted a connected universe, which is what Zack was going to give them. But they fucked that all up, didn't they? And now they're only putting out standalone movies. With the inclusion of such characters as Supergirl and Michael Keaton's Batman. One thing Flash does is set up DC with a multiverse that allows for many of these incarnations story universes to coexist and have characters interact. Fuck off. They don't give a shit about multiverse. They're just, using that bullshit excuse, every time that they try to fuck over Zack. They'll say, oh, the multiverse, and yet won't allow Zack to bring in, Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. No doubt they'll fucking try to say that they're going to put him in another movie, but then multiverse would allow him to have multiple versions of the same character. We've even seen this with Flash. But Warner Brothers, they're just have a hate heart on for Zack Snyder, so they're going to try to wipe out anything he does, even if it's detrimental to their movies. So far, every movie and TV show, with the exception of Matt Reeves' Batman starring Rob Pattinson, is set for release in March. HBO Max spin-off Gotham PD and Joker and its planned sequels will take place in the same universe. Apparently not Superman, because from what I heard, they say it's taking place in another universe. So that's not even connected to this universe. Obviously, they're just trying to erase Henry Cavill's Superman. The Superman film appears to be moving onto its own track and won't be part of the universe. Exactly. So they're literally just, fucking around. They're not trying to create this extended universe. They're just trying to pretty much wipe out Zack's versions of, his movies. Source tells THR that Coates has crafted Kal-El in the vein of original Superman comics and will have the protagonist hail from Krypton and come to Earth. The story is currently being crafted and many details could change. One option under consideration the film be a 20th century period piece. Yeah, so they say Kal-El, so I'm assuming they're just going to turn him black, which, once again, considering how they refuse to allow Kal-El to have a black grandfather, that kind of fucks it up, doesn't it? It really just reveals that Warner Brothers doesn't give two shits about black characters. They're just trying to hide the racism from, their fucking showrunners. Diversity and representation remains key drivers of the DC universe moving forward. Warner's is developing a Latino Blue Beetle movie with an Angel Manuel Soto attached to direct, and HBO Max is casting for a gray Green Lantern character for our upcoming series. And the CW's Arrowverse is about to get its second black female superhero series with Ava DuVernay's Naomi. Black Woman also features a black lead. Jabaka Leslie, just as Black Lantern, is about to wrap its final season. Okay, fuck off with listing all this diversity. You don't give two fucks about diversity. Yeah, you'll talk about, a Latino Blue Lantern and casting a gay Green Lantern character in this upcoming series. Pretty sure Johns is involved in that, which is ironic considering that he refused to have a queer character on Krypton. So yeah, this, obviously just a fucking ploy to make himself look better. You know, he loves to fucking bring up all the fucking projects that he was involved in. Every goddamn single speck of diversity to try to make himself look good. He's literally just a fucking doormat who will do anything, you know, to make himself look better. But of course, if it involves, you know, having diverse characters and he thinks it might threaten, you know, it might, you know, threaten his, obviously, position, it just feels like this fucker is just, you know, he's fake progressive, just like Joss Whedon. And of course, they had to bring up the CW, you know, trying to pimp out, you know, lead character, black character from Batwoman, which is ironic considering they canceled Black Lightning after, I think it's 3 seasons, and yet we got Flash on season, 7, and goddamn Arrow that last 9 seasons. These fuckers don't give a shit about diversity. As for Abrams, who inked a $500 million deal with Warner Media in September of 2019, he will still wield plenty of influence in DC Universe with Snyder gone. The Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens director, now will have perhaps the largest footprint as he oversees Justice League Dark Universe for film. To be among the rumored projects is a Constantine reboot for HBO Max. At a minimum, Abrams should be raising hell at DC with the Hellblazer protagonist. Yeah, so pretty much just Warner Brothers, you know, fucking trying to, you know, hide the fact that they're racist sacks of shit. You know, they treated their actor like shit and thought they could bury him. But, yeah, like I said, I'll be surprised if this shit actually happens because we're supposed to get new gods and apparently that was canned. So, yeah, I have real faith in Warner Brothers. So, there's speculations that this article, the Black Superman article, was put out to try to cover up for another article that was coming out. So, this next article, Warner Brothers film chairman Toby Emmerich floated for a new job as the studio negotiated date HBO Max plan with talent. David Giffen pitches the exec to Netflix. With 18 months left on a contract, is Warner Brothers studio chairman Toby Emmerich exploring job opportunities. While it is far from clear that Emmerich will leave the studio after more than 20 years, sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that David Geffen in recent weeks placed a call to Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos to inquire whether there might be a possible role for Emmerich at Netflix. Giffen, 78, and Emmerich, 58, are both guests at a January dinner hosted by music mogul Jimmy Iovine. Emmerich started out in the music world and worked at Atlantic Records from 87 to 92. Giffen has credited Atlantic co-founder Ahmet Ergun with giving him a start in the record business. Sources close to Emmerich say he has no knowledge of Giffen making any calls on his behalf. Others with knowledge of the situation say top Netflix executive did not see a place for Emmerich at the streamer. A source close to Sardo said no call was placed to him and there was no discussions about the position. A Netflix spokesperson declined to comment. Emmerich was rumored to be departing in December. Instead, he was given full control of films not only for theaters but also for HBO Max. Hits during this tenure as a top executive include Wonder Woman, Crazy Rich Asians, and Stars Born. Misses include 2019 film The Goldfinch and The Kitchen. Execs were named president of the film studio in 2018 and promoted chairman the following year. Emmerich's contract was last renewed in October 2019 and runs through the end of 2022. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had renewed his contract and then Snyder Cut happened and this whole fucking debacle and Emmerich showing what sacks of shit he is, and so now they're trying to get rid of him. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just trying to scope out, trying to push him off to someone else. It would make sense. A Warner Media rep was asked for comment about Emmerich, confirmed that the exec was under contract, and stated any other speculation is just that speculation, noting that he has a wonderful relationship with the studio chief and Sornoff and there's no truth to rumors. Fuck off. You know the thing when they say, oh, Warner Brother rep, you really expect us to fucking believe these fuckers? They lied in 2017 when it came to Zack's, to the Justice League movie. They continue to fucking lie, and we're supposed to believe them, apparently. One Emmerich associate speculated that a call from Giffen to Sardos may have been intended to help Emmerich gain leverage in a future negotiation with Warner's. Another industry veteran says that while Giffen has said he no longer wants to be involved in the entertainment business, he still likes to move chess pieces around and has been making behind-the-scenes calls, just looking for action again, trying to extract information like the good old days. So what, he did it for shits and giggles? If you get someone a job, this person adds, he calls in favors for the rest of your life. This person adds that Jeffen plays a major, previously unreported behind-the-scenes role in getting Paul Simon to sell his music catalog to Sony Music Publishing, a deal that was announced in March. Giffen does not respond to requests for comment. So they're saying that he was just, trying to push him off to Warner Brothers to try to get favors from Emmerich. So that's true, then that implies that Emmerich wanted to leave Warner Brothers and was heading for Netflix. It's been a challenging several months for Warner, particularly for Emmerich, as THR previously reported Emmerich, along with COO Catherine Blackwood, was a key player in Warner's surprise December move to put the studio's entire 2021 slate of films on HBO Max streaming service the same day they opened in theaters. The studio faced backlash and rebukes from directors Christopher Nolan and Denis I can't even fucking say that. Sources say Warner wrote huge checks to some of them, those who had movies affected by decisions such as Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves. For some talented reps, resentment lingered. One agent with important movie clients say that when he challenged Emmerich about the movie, his answer was, "Are we supposed to have called above the line people from 17 movies?" The answer is yes. In explaining its decision, the company said its analysis was that theaters could not open meaningfully before the end of 2021. Not even 2 weeks later, the first vaccine shipments were out in the U.S. in April. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar told Record, why in the fuck am I wearing these? I'm not even, listen to anything. In April, Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar told Recode's Peter Kafka that certain 2022 movies would have an exclusive theatrical window, and Cineworld said the studio had struck a deal to show certain movies exclusively in theaters for 45 days before streaming, though the terms of that agreement are not clear. Calling the episode bumpy, Kilar said, "If I had the choice to do it over again, I think it's very fair to say that we would have taken a couple more days to see if we could have had even more conversations than we were able to have. It's not clear the studio has conversations with any of its creative partners. Warner Brothers higher-ups are also concerned about the performance of the studio's critically important DC movies. Warner's had also faced negative publicity from the studio's response to Joss Whedon's allegedly abusive behavior on the set of Justice League. Stars include Ray Fisher, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa have said publicly there were issues during Whedon's tenure on film, which he finished after Zack Snyder left production. Yeah, no fucking shit. The March release the Snyder version as a cost of at least $70 million. Renewed attention to the claims with Fisher, who played Cyborg in the film, continued to allege abusive, racist conduct on the project and accused the studio of not seriously investigating his claims, with Warner Media fiercely denies. Fuck off. We already know, because of people who worked with Whedon in the past, what a piece of shit he is. And, and the fact that multiple people have come forward to talk about Whedon's behavior. And and they continue to act like, there was nothing done. This fucker was, pushed off to and given another project with Nevers. Whedon was. So, obviously, they fucking didn't do shit with him. They only fucking got rid of him from that after, all the accusations came out. And then also, Johns continues to have fucking work on DC. It doesn't matter if he's no longer working in the movies. They're putting him in TV shows. So obviously, he's not suffering any punishment. Hamada still has his fucking job. Emmerich still has his job. Nothing's been fucking done. So yeah, they can fuck off with that. We all know, Black Superman is only being released to try to cover up all this shit. And the, rumors of them possibly putting calls to Netflix, it actually makes sense. This fucking clusterfuck that's happening, I don't think that it's just gonna go unnoticed. It's just gonna be another, fucking incident under Emmerich's fucking reign. So, yeah, I'm just hoping this is just a sign that Emmerich is going to be canned after 2022, after his contract expires. I wouldn't be surprised if they renew his contract, but now that all this shit that's happened, they're thinking about just getting rid of him once his contract expires. Hopefully. And I would not be surprised at all if this fucker tries to go over to Netflix after, Zack, Warner Brother or Netflix has shown their interest in Zack. I wouldn't be surprised if Emmerich tries to fucking go over there and fuck Zack over there too. So yeah, that was kind of the articles, the two articles that have been really causing some buzz. So those are my thoughts on those articles. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to get notifications for all my videos that are going to be coming out. And you guys have a nice night. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later.